So, how did you forming ESA come into fruition?
All right, man. I'm gonna keep it totally real. Always, there's no cap, like we say. You know, and I know, former athletes, and this is a serious thing. They have, we have a hard time transitioning into regular life. Let's be honest. Like getting into our professional career. If I would have
Right.
took it seriously, more serious in college, I would have done something that was like, okay, as soon as I get out of college, maybe I can start going right to that field. But again, we take our losses, we learn, and we pass to the next generation. You know what I mean? So what happened was I ended up coming back. I was always working with the recreation department, Alexander Rex, since I was little, since I was 15. I always had to have a job. It's like I always had to get my own money. Um, so I was doing that throughout, chasing the basketball thing too. And I ended up working in the school system, work with kids with autism. What happened was, I met my current wife now, and when she got, I always liked watching the NBA draft pre-draft workouts. I always did, and I started to study. I was like, man, this I love. I was like, man, I love watching workouts. I was just watching them, and I was like, I trained myself, and I wasn't even thinking about it. Like when I was in Ohio, I might have started in Ohio. I was like, if I'd have known, I would have started training way back then in Ohio as a younger age. But I was trying to get it. So when my wife got pregnant at the time, I was like, I was working with the recreation department, working with the school system, and I was like, man, I gotta step it up. I was like, this is gonna be, and I was like, I went down, started thinking, I was like, I love basketball training. I was like, let me see what I can do with this, because I used to play, and she's like, you doing all this basketball, but you ain't getting paid for it. I was like, they don't understand. I'm like, come on, man, I love the game, I still love it, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna take that as a challenge. So I thought, and I was like, man, let me go down to City Hall, get my business license, and just start, get it out the mud to see what happens. So I came up with the name Elite Shooters Athletics. Um, I don't know how they came. I don't even, to be honest, I think, you know what? I had guys like you, Steve Miles, a bunch of people that could shoot. I knew I could shoot back in the days. I wasn't pure. I could heat up, but I was like, I was like, shooters, Elite Shooters Athletics. I was like, so that way I was like, if I do something, I got these shooters that I can bring in. And that's what I was thinking. And I was like, okay, Elite Shooters Athletics. Went down there, got the name and things like that. I started training outside, man. A lot of people see my journey because I put everything in there. And this was 13 years ago. I started training outside. Um, Again, we get back to not burning bridges. I always wanted to do something in the city of Alexandria. We always wanted to do something in the city of Alexandria. Things just didn't work out at that time. It was tough to get, and as far as like business wise, I really didn't know like the ins and outs. And I'm still learning. I'm still learning now. Learning about how the business is. I never burnt bridges, but ain't nobody gonna hand you nothing. So I was like, let me get it out the mud. I started training outside. And then I always have, again, being who I was, not being an a-hole and, burning bridges, I had people help me out along the way. They were like, hey, I got gym space here. I got gym space there. Um, and I slowly started to grow. I was in Alexandria doing my thing, teaching kids and learning. I was like, man, this is what, I think I could do something with it. Um, I ended up, my boy Jamal Yusuf, he's that's my partner. Um, he had reached out to me when I was on my grind when I started. I was about like six years in, and he came to see me. He was like, man, we've been boys. You know what I mean? We played together in like some men's league, adult league, and he loves hoop, and we just stayed in contact. We just stayed in contact with each other. He got into coaching, and then he had told me, hit me up one time. He was like, man, listen, I got this. I'm about to, open up a gym. He was like, man, won't you come, see what's up and work with me? And I built my program. I built ESA. Um, he was just starting, and I was like, we cool. I was like, all right, let's see what we can do. He came to watch me train. That's my brother. You know what I mean? He came to watch me train, and he was like, um, let's see what we can do. So we started running camps down in Lorton, the gym. I kind of migrated out of Alexandria because it was, kind of tough to really do what I wanted to do in Alexandria. You know what I mean? That's our city. You know what I mean? But we know, hopefully, I think it's starting to open up now. But hopefully, we can do some things in future. Kobe, we'll talk about that as well. But I'm
Okay.
just hoping, like, our city, man, we got guys who made it Division 1, Division 2, Division 3. Kid, it's a lot of us, man. We can't even name everybody, but it's a lot of people in the city who want to give back. You know what I mean? But we just need to work more together to do that. So we ended up I ended up down there in Lorton training with my guy Jamal Yusuf of Elevate Gym. We had a small little half court, and I ended up moving out closer to me District 2, so it was kind of close, you know what I mean? And I was like, all right, well, let's do something, man. Let's keep our look. Everybody know who we are. Let's keep our name. Let's grind together. And then we did that for a few years, and I wasn't a part of the process of finding the spot then. But the second one, the one we had now, I mean, I thank God for him, because he was like, man, let's go, let's learn. I want you to go with us. We went and scouted out places where we're gonna do this at and things like that, man. And I learned a lot business wise of what I need to do with finding spots and locations, things like that. And this was about 4 or 5 years in. So we finally we found a spot, and I was like, and we found a spot, and we just grinded from there. He was like, man, you can put your grandfather's name on the court, man. My grandfather was a very big inspiration to me. So I was like, man, are you serious? I was like, we gonna do this right now? Like, yeah, man, let's do it.